Okay, what's up, beautiful people? What's up? Welcome back to Groovy Plant Addict. So today we are going to be talking about my beautiful prayer plants. Well, specifically caletha marinta plants. And I have two, and then I have some that I am propagating as well. A lot of people say, like, when I first got mine, they were like, you can't cut them, they're not cuttings. And to be honest, you just have to find where a node is. So I was so confused when everyone was telling me like you can't cut it, and then I heard people were cutting it. So basically, let's zoom in to the beautiful plant. So if it's like a big bump like right here, that's gonna be a node. I really wouldn't propagate something like this right here. I do believe this is a node as well, but I would not do that because it's one leaf and the survival rate is not at all. Also, I have propagated them from this node right here. I just cut back all the way right here, and then I either dip this in water in a sphagnum moss propagation box just to keep up the humidity levels. I never have actually directly put it into soil. And the water method works for me. I do put it in this sphagnum moss box just to keep up the humidity. This one is one that I obviously wouldn't recommend doing because this one also has one leaf as well. And we're also, sorry, this is my little trash can. We're also going to be talking about my red caletha marinta. This beautiful one right here. I like both of them a lot. At first I fell in love with the red and I was like, oh my god, that is so pretty. It has like reddish purple on the bottom, and then I saw this one on how like plain that looks on the bottom, and the green on these ones to me seem more vibrant, so I do love this one a lot. So I have my notes on my phone right here. So it's called a prayer plant. This one is a caletha marinta, and this one's called Marinta lunconura. Sorry, you guys. My dog wants peanut butter. Here. She asked for peanut butter. I just gave her a biscuit, okay? So, I like the plant a lot. To me, it's one of the beginner caletha type plants. I have a caletha medallion as well. I have this striped caletha. And then I believe I have another one somewhere. It's somewhere over here. Yeah, I have a caletha rattlesnake. And of all the calethas I had, I would say this one is like the easiest because I have never killed any of them yet. So, let's see. The way I take care of my plant is I water it all the way. I make sure all my pots that I have calethas in have drainage pots. I'll water it all the way through until the water drips off. And then I also have a moisture meter, so I do check the moisture, and when it hits to around 2 to 3, I do rewater. Since it's more of a tropical plant, it likes to be more watered than dried out. So I really would not recommend it drying out all the way because sometimes the leaves will crisp, and once the leaves crisp, that's it. So their hardiness is 30 degrees Fahrenheit, which means you can leave it outside in a lot of states and it will be perfectly fine. I leave it outside and I live in California and it is perfectly fine. I do also make sure my soil substrate is very airy because while they do like a lot of, you know, humidity and that tropical type of stuff, they also do like be able to breathe. And when you have no like mixture in your soil to help it aerate, it doesn't do the plant good at all. So they recommend you fertilize it 2 to every 3 months, but typically I fertilize mine around once every watering to once every other watering. I basically just see how it is. So if there's a lot of new growth, like this one is new, this one is one of the newer growths, like this one is popping out a lot of new growths, I'll make sure to fertilize it or give it plant vitamins every watering. I do make sure it is a very diluted amount because you don't want to over fertilize and burn your plant. Essentially, certain plants are fine with a good amount of fertilizer. Destiny! Certain plants are good with a certain amount of fertilizer, but caletha, in my opinion, is very... Stay in here. I'm trying to make a video, okay? Sorry. Certain plants need something more diluted or on the natural side. So typically I use my fish emulsion fertilizer and I dilute it around 50%. So I put like a teaspoon or I believe a tablespoon in around every 2 gallons. When I also use kelp fertilizer, I do dilute it that way as well. I also use Miracle-Gro. A lot of people say they don't like Miracle-Gro, and I've never really had a really big problem with it, so I'm perfectly fine with using it. And yeah, okay. So pruning, this should go with every plant, just about. Prune any diseased, dying. If it's more than like 65% of the way dead, I say just chop it off. The planting time is in spring or autumn. I've never really repotted my plants unless if it was cuttings that I had propagated. Besides that, I like to leave them in the same pot. I noticed they like to be more on the root bound side and they'll grow a lot more like out. I also do believe these are really pretty. If you were to put it in a hanging pot, that looks so pretty. Like, I love how the plant looks itself. Hi, Destiny. Say hi. She's just looking at me, you guys. Yeah, but I recommend you putting it in like a porous pot, or as long as it has drainage holes. If you're more on the overwatering type of person side, I would definitely say get a terracotta or clay pot, as that's gonna give you more aeration because it is more airy and it's just very porous. So normally I just come here and look at my stuff. If it's not cute, I cut it off. This was literally gonna turn into nothing. This is ugly. Sometimes they have these little papery type of things. I personally don't like the look of them. And let me show you some of my propagations. Okay, so this is one of the first ones I have ever propagated. And actually, I didn't water it at all. Actually, I overwatered it in the beginning. It was too much water. Then I didn't water it at all. Left it outside. It got burnt. Honestly, probably should just cut that off. It doesn't really matter at this point. And my dad had come out and was like, "Why are you letting your plants die?" And I was like, "It's been dead for like a month now." And I just started watering it, and it was dead. It was a stump. It was literally nothing. And I started watering it, and if you look, it has a brand new leaf unfurling right here. This one is unfurling. This one, she's a little crusty, but you know what? That's okay. So I just like to make sure. See this one? It was literally a stump. So the way I propagate these is, I told you I put it in a sphagnum moss prop box, but I put it in the cup of water that is supposed to maintain the humidity in the box, and then when it gets enough roots, I acclimate it in something that has more of a humidity chamber. So I used to put it in like a regular pot box that had nothing in it but sphagnum moss, just to keep humidity up. And then I got a mini greenhouse, and that honestly worked really good for me because it's just more convenient and easier to use. And eventually a lot of these are going to be sold up on my Etsy. Obviously, when they are perfect, I'm not going to ship them out looking crusty. This is another one that I had did. I have some more actually also. So this one, I have one that looks really good, but I think I have it outside. So this one, the leaf is pretty fine right here. There's just a little burnt at the top. This leaf is fine. This leaf, I wouldn't cut it off yet. It could still photosynthesize. It's obviously not super cute, but it'll eventually grow a lot more new growth. And then when the new growth comes out, you can cut it and propagate it back. But yeah, just make sure you have a decent amount of humidity if you are going to be propagating these, or try to have your own humidity chamber type of vibe thing, because I've noticed they've grown a lot better with the humidity, like higher humidity. So that's just my opinion, but I mean, I live in California, so it's going to be different for everyone's state. These ones right here are probably one of the best ones that I have so far. I was all propagating in the same way, and then I changed because I noticed like the leaves started getting super small and they were crisping. So this is when I noticed that it needed more of higher humidity, and I started putting this one higher humidity, and this one had a big comeback. So typically the way I have my plants, which when I propagate like 99% of my plants, I'll leave it in a smaller like prop station or like a small pot. I'll let it get root bound in that pot before I repot it into a 4-inch pot. So I guess you could say I'm like taking a lot of time into my plants, because most growers, I'm pretty sure, just say, hey, let me just pot the cuttings up into a 4-inch pot instead of 2-inch to 4-inch. But since I only sell small and I sell online, and it's just one of my beautiful hobbies, I literally just pot them this small. I'm also going to be selling starter versions that are this small that are going to be perfect as well. And then basically, if you want a fuller pot, I'm also going to be selling 4-inch pots with these as well. I'm also selling succulents. Let me see. I'm also selling beautiful succulents. These are my other plants in the 2-inch pot, 2.5-inch. I even have a watermelon peperomia. I have a lot of my, what is it called? My inch plant, my transatlantica and whatnot. But I have noticed, for me, the plants I like to be more root bound, this is a lot more effective, higher, like it worked type of solution. So yeah, I love it. Anyways, thank you so much for watching my YouTube channel. I hope you gained some information on how to propagate, how to water, and the basic necessities of a caletha marinta. And thank you again for watching Groovy Plant Addict. Thank you. Bye!